to sound like an obituary. You're still kicking, and so if you don't mind, come on up here. I was thinking of your favorite acronym. Do you remember what your favorite acronym is? ND. I'm not dead yet. You do? You have a song? That's a bold move. Yeah. All right. So this is going to be more like just you and I. Maybe even I might have to have you fill in some gaps as we go here. But look at this amazing family. Isn't this incredible? This gathering in your honor. Yeah. Well, if you guys didn't know this is Justin John Mutrux. He was born September 17th in 1945 to Jean Mutrux and Ellen Mutrux. Way back then, the oldest of 4 children, Martha, Tirza, and Eric are the siblings. And Eric is here. If you haven't met Uncle Eric, he was the baby of the family. Some of you have that in common with him, so you can talk about that later. But I don't know what happened, but way back in the late 60s, you and my mother decided to do something crazy, to go on an adventure. And you bought this place in 1968. Yep. And you didn't move down here, though, until like 74. Something like that. I was a few months old. Was it the early summer, spring, right in there? Something like that?
When we bought it?
No, whenever you moved here. Because it was like in 74, it was several years later. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And so, and you started buying farm animals and teaching. I mean, you were only making like, your total income was like 10 to 15,000, something like that, between the two of you back then?
Not even.
Yeah. Not even then, that?
My first
something.
contract was like $6,000.
Wow. Yeah.
Maybe 5.
Yeah, pretty incredible. Bought this place and got a bunch of farm animals. What all animals did you get down here? Was it horses?
Eventually.
Cows? Pigs? I remember a lot of pigs. Geese? Chickens? Turkeys? Guineas? I guarantee we had turkeys. I remember a white turkey right over by the pump. You're right. They weren't attack turkeys, but I remember them gobbling and stuff.
I remember the geese that
They were wild geese. I mean, they were honkers. I'd have to go and peek around the corner before I took off naked across the yard. That's right. They'll get you. And that's not all the animals that we had, though. We had suicidal goats. There was a mulberry tree right back here that we had a goat tied to it, and it jumped off and jumped over a branch. Yep. And we got up in the morning, and it was ready to gut it out and all that stuff. I'm just joking. We didn't eat it, I don't think. But oh, we did eat it? Oh, awesome. Nothing goes to waste around here. And we had sheep as well. Do you remember the sheep?
Yeah.
A lot of these memories of mine are like right over by the pump. I remember shearing the sheep with Mom.
I remember that now too.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to the sheep. I don't think we ate it.
Coyotes. Coyotes got
Coyotes?
the sheep. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Rachel, thank you.
I had a goat I milked too for a while.
Yeah. You milked a goat. I remember you trying to make butter out of the cream and it would never set up. Something like that. I have no idea.
We didn't
I-
much goat butter.
Yeah.
Goat butter.
That's what I just said. You couldn't do it.
We had more sense than it.
Yeah. So anyway, it was just a crazy adventure, that you took us on down here. And I have a lot of respect for you through that because it was not an easy choice to make.
No.
We appreciate all the adventures. My wife is always amazed that we all survived down here. Literally, that we're all alive still. Before we left the house, and so there's a lot of dangers down here, but you kept us safe. I never really felt like I was in a lot of danger, even though I probably might have been at times, but it was like going to camp, for me.
Yeah.
But I think the weight of the responsibility that you felt was different than that, and it just made us all feel safe and secure, and we all survived it. But you were doing such hard things, I just remember the 70s and the 80s, the hard winters. And all of the different challenges that you had, I just think most men would have given up on this dream down here with some of the challenges that you had. And it's pretty amazing. Every time something happened, you got up, dusted yourself off, and your favorite mantra, you moved forward, right? It was pretty incredible. But on top of all of those adventures that we had, which we're going to, get into more story time later, you had kind of a pretty amazing career.
A career?
Career, yeah, teaching school.
Yeah.
I mean, several decades of teaching up at Raymondville. Started off up in St. Louis, right?
Stoutland.
Stoutland?
Stoutland's a town near Lebanon.
Lebanon.
Just a little bit east.
Okay, so you went from there
Stoutland, Dixon.
all over the place. See,
Yeah, so South St. Louis.
most of it though was there at Raymondville,
Yep.
and you had some pretty amazing accomplishments for this little tiny town of 423 people, or whatever the latest count is, and including the Presidential Excellence Teacher Excellence is like one of the most prestigious awards that you can get as an educator, right? In 1997,
Yep.
you got world explorers to come down here, like Julie Hansen and Will Steger. And on top of that, he even brought one of the Raymondville school flags and got a photo at the North Pole, right?
North Pole and in Antarctica.
And in
Same
Antarctica.
flag,
Yeah.
once at the North
Yeah.
Pole. There's a picture of that in there. And once in Antarctica. We took that flag with us when we went to Antarctica.
And, it just seems like you went above and beyond for your students. It's just an uncommon career in the educational field, even though there's so many great teachers out there. You just set yourself apart in that way, including a publication that went on for years, the Cherry Street Journal,
Yeah.
that, won awards and did just amazing things and you had the eighth graders do most of the work. It wasn't you writing or doing any of the thing. You were just the leader, you probably even assigned leaders to do different things like editing and all of the other stuff that goes into that. I worked at a paper and you'd think I know all the terms, but I can't remember.
Actually, doing that paper was probably the thing I'm most proud of.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. And I don't know if,
Yeah.
when I talk to Dad and he's talking about all of his little things that he does today, like out in the community, everywhere he goes, he sees somebody, a life that he impacted, and he tells me, well, I kind of recognize them, but they knew me right off the bat. So the impact that you had on so many, just hundreds and hundreds of people and your students is just incredible. It's a legacy that you can be really, really proud of. It's amazing, what you did there.
It was good.
And then, you retired, and then you were doing some traveling before then, but then you really kind of went on a big run all over the world. China, you spent a month in China. You went to Japan. You went to Antarctica. You went to Alaska. You went to Canada. And all these places. You did 800 miles from Fairbanks to Nome on dog sled and snow machine. Had some just incredible adventures. And I'm sure you went to a million other places that you could mention, but those are just some of the highlights that happened. And then, on top of that, after tragedy struck and my mother passed away, you got remarried.
That's right.
And married into a beautiful family, Marianne, and you've been married now for 24 years. I knew it was somewhere. That's why I needed you right next to me. And they're all here today, which is amazing. And it's just been you just got such a great partner. It's incredible, and to me it seems like it's one of the happiest parts of your life, these last 24 years. And so just thank you, Marianne, for that. It's pretty amazing. But so you traveled, and now you still have kind of a lot of adventures ahead of you,
I hope so.
I think about this gathering and how special it is, but I think about also future generations. Maybe 5 generations from now, 10 generations from now, there's going to be gatherings here, your family. And you know what they're going to be talking about?
What's for dinner?
They're going to be talking about 1968,
Yeah.
when a young couple with a young family decided to go on an adventure.
Yeah.
And they chose a difficult road. They chose a road less traveled, just some uncommon path, a unique thing that had such a big impact on our family, big impact on so many people here. And that's the legacy that you're leaving, which is pretty amazing. So I thank God for you. I love you. I think that God's going to continue to bless you. His mercies are so abundant in everything that we do. They're so apparent. And, it's just such a special place. You're a special man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Woo!
You're welcome. Well, that's all I have for you guys.
Yeah, does everybody understand the T-shirt?
That T-shirt. Here you go, Dad. You got the mic.
Well, it's in French to begin with.
Get it closer to your mouth.
Okay, and it was designed by my sister Tirza, probably about 40 years ago. And she made like individual T-shirts. Like this was mine. Reuben had a different one. There were, at least in that picture, there were at least 5 different T-shirts. She's quite an artist, and the saying I think came from a French philosopher, Voltaire. Maybe Oliver knows. I'm not sure. But it sort of translates like get rid of, like permanently. No, the word doesn't mean ticks, but it means something really, really nasty, only worse than nasty. And so they're just like get rid of the ticks. And Rachel thought of this, using this, and she saw a picture of it. And so this is like an exact copy, as far as I know, of the T-shirt. I can't remember whether the tick in the T-shirt had that little white dot, but the tick with the little white dot is responsible for alpha-gal, and so it's sort of like, let's get rid of these ticks so nobody else gets alpha-gal, and we're trying to be super careful about it.
How do you say it?
This,
Yeah, say it.
all right.
Reuben!
How do you say ticks?
No, you.
Okay.
The French.
The first word is écrasé. Écrasé. And then the L is like right here, in this case, is the word for the. So it's écrasé, and then the last one is said all together. And it's more or less l'enfant. It means like get rid of these nasty critters. Écraser l'enfant. I don't know exactly what Voltaire meant. I think it could have been, I don't think he was probably happy with a lot of things that were going on in France that day or time. I don't think he had ticks in mind. But he might have been the government or something like that. I'm not really sure. I haven't read that much Voltaire, but in the case here, it certainly means, and Tirza painted the ticks in. That was part of the deal. Let's get rid of the ticks. It hasn't actually happened, but it certainly made us more aware of what's going on. I think I got this disease, just a short bit about it, probably last hunting season, deer season, and it didn't like emerge in me for 4 months, and I had one bad reaction, and I haven't had any more, but you have to be just careful, but people need to be careful with their lives anyway, and so now I'm really careful with this, and so Rachel's idea was to basically, this is like an alpha-gal meal with a couple of small exceptions. Fortunately, one of the foods that I don't have to give up is like beer. They say that that's all right, and I just wanted to say that I asked Craig asked me what I wanted he might bring from Colombia, and the answer was green chili beer, because everybody knows how much I like green chili, and I brought a growler. Well, I brought it out, just like Craig brought it down. So if you'd like a little bit of taste of green chili beer, this is your chance. Who knows if you're going to get another chance. It's from Flat Branch. So but I'm going to share it with that. So that's another, small adventure for people. But I want to say one other thing about, just like my career. It was one door opened after another. And Rachel talks about that sometimes. It's just like, if a door opens, you better give it a chance. And that's what happened to me. It was just like one thing happened, then you meet somebody, and then something else happens, and then you go somewhere else, and so it just that seems to be the way it works. But anyway, I thank everybody for coming to help celebrate my birthday. It's actually September 17th, and I want to tell you that is, in a sense, a national holiday. Not because I was born that day, but does anybody actually know the holiday besides my lovely wife? No one?
It's an important one.
It's an important one. Any guesses? No, I don't want any guesses. You don't know, you don't know. You'll never guess it.
It is Constitution Day.
It's Constitution Day in the United States, because the Constitution was ratified on September 17th, 1787. And so it makes the Constitution about, I'm guessing, but it's about 240 years old. And we lived with this Constitution for that long, and we've all had its ups and downs, but it's done well for our country. We survived all kinds of bad stuff like the Civil War. And here we are, keep moving together, moving on. That's what we need to do. So thanks for coming.
Yeah.